Είναι χαρά μου τώρα να καλωσορίσω μια φίλη από τις Βρυξέλλες, την Γενική Διευθύντρια του Digital Europe, τη Cecilia Bonefeld-Dahl, για να έχουμε τη δικιά της ομιλία στο Digital Economy Forum 2020, χτίζοντας την ψηφιακή Ελλάδα.
Οραματιζόμαστε έναν κόσμο συναρπαστικής ψυχαγωγίας και απεριόριστης επικοινωνίας. Ξεκινήσαμε φέρνοντας το ίντερνετ και τη συνδρομητική τηλεόραση στην Ελλάδα. Από τότε δημιουργούμε κάθε μέρα το μέλλον με τόλμη και φαντασία. Έχουμε την καινοτομία στο DNA μας. Βλέπουμε σαν πρόκληση τις σύγχρονες ανάγκες. Είμαστε άνθρωποι με χαμόγελο και πάθος για αυτό που κάνουμε. Σχεδιάζουμε υπηρεσίες με έμπνευση. Παθιαζόμαστε με τις κορυφαίες αθλητικές διοργανώσεις.
Καταπληκτικό!
Αγαπάμε το συναρπαστικό κινηματογραφικό θέαμα. Ενθουσιαζόμαστε με τις ποιοτικές επιλογές ψυχαγωγίας και με τις μοναδικές δυνατότητες επικοινωνίας. Προσαρμοζόμαστε στα νέα δεδομένα, αλλά ξέρουμε και να τα αλλάζουμε. Πατάμε γερά στα πόδια μας και φτάνουμε παντού. Επιλέγουμε δύσκολους στόχους και τους πετυχαίνουμε. Καταλαβαίνουμε τους επαγγελματίες και τις επιχειρήσεις, γι' αυτό μας εμπιστεύονται. Προσφέρουμε. Στηρίζουμε. Γινόμαστε ένα με την κοινωνία και κερδίζουμε την αναγνώριση. Ανοίγουμε τον δρόμο που ακολουθούν οι άλλοι. Είμαστε δυνατή ομάδα, με ισχυρή προσωπικότητα και μεγάλη εμπειρία. Πάνω από 20 χρόνια αλλάζουμε τον τρόπο που επικοινωνούμε, που βλέπουμε τον κόσμο, που διασκεδάζουμε. Δεν είμαστε απλά μια εταιρεία. Είμαστε ένας συναρπαστικός τρόπος ζωής.
Big data that would always get bigger, ever increasing, ever expanding. Every car, a sensor. Every phone, a suggestion. Every region, a cloud. Everything, a thing. Data was the golden promise of the information age. But more informed does not equal more intelligent. It's time to move to a new age, the age of insight. Now insights can combine with other insights. And ideas can have ideas. Everything from edge to cloud can be connected by a single force, revealing opportunities you never knew were there. For smoother experiences, more intuitive products, and services yet to be imagined. Now entire workflows can move faster, powered by supercomputers built to the task. Solutions delivered as a service, from analysis at the edge to operations in the cloud. Wherever your data, wherever your applications, they'll be faster, accessible, and secure, bringing everything in sight. Welcome to the age of insight.
Labradoodles, cronuts, skorts.
It's a skirt and shorts.
The world loves a hybrid. So do businesses. So today, they're going hybrid with IBM. A hybrid cloud approach lets them use Watson AI to modernize without rebuilding and bring all their partners and customers together in one place. That's why businesses from retail to banking are going with a smarter hybrid cloud using the tools, platform, and expertise of IBM.
Καλησπέρα και πάλι. Όπως σας ανέφερα και με το διάλειμμα, θα συνδεθούμε με Βρυξέλλες με μια πολύ καλή φίλη, τη Cecilia Bonefeld-Dahl, η οποία είναι Γενική Διευθύντρια του Digital Europe. Η Cecilia έχει στηρίξει το συνέδριο τόσα χρόνια, όπως επίσης έχει στηρίξει τον ΣΕΠΕ όλα αυτά τα χρόνια με τις θέσεις της Ευρωπαϊκής Βιομηχανίας Ψηφιακής Τεχνολογίας, που και εμείς μεταφέρουμε ως μέλος του Digital Europe στην Ελλάδα. Cecilia?
Yes, hello. Good afternoon, Yannis. Nice to see you.
Good afternoon, Cecilia. Good evening from Athens. Good evening to Brussels. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Thank you so much for the invitation again. It
pleasure.
was, I must say, I missed the trip to Greece. I hope to be there next year.
Definitely yes.
So I'm going to speak a little bit on the recovery. As you know very well, Yannis. Digital Europe has been working with the digital recovery plan, and Yannis is actually a part of our board and has been a major player in this. The EU has actually lately dedicated 750 billion euros to recovery of Europe, and we have been quite amazed to see that. Of course, we would like to take credit, but we have been quite involved in getting 20% of those funding basically dedicated towards digital. I'm unable to see my slides. I don't know if you see my slides on the screen. If not, I will simply... Oh, thank you so much. Okay, so you can just turn to the first slide, please. Chris, thank you so much. Yeah, so Ursula von der Leyen has been quite an amazing leader. She made it very clear when she stepped into office that this is the digital decade, and during the recovery, we were very close to the Commission and to the Council, basically discussing, the importance of digital, and also realizing that many countries are underdeveloped in digital, and that there needs to be a heavy investment, basically to make sure that Europe becomes more resilient, that schools can basically deliver training to children from home, that we can actually have our goods and services transported across borders. And there was also a great knowledge in how digital could basically also be a major player in finding a vaccine, how it could be, how we could basically track the spread of COVID, etc. And as you see here, I think we can say that the European Union has really taken it extremely serious and say this will be the digital decade, the digital and green decade of Europe. Next slide, please. So what we actually, if we look a little bit towards GReeCE, we can only say that on numbers, on every parameter, Greece is very low on digitalization, and we hope to see really a heavy investment also from the EU to Greece on this. However, we must say that on skills, Greece is quite quite advanced and have a lot of young, talented people. And I would say if I had one thing I would invest in and only one thing, I would definitely be in skills, because without the skills, you cannot solve the problem. You cannot utilize the connectivity. You cannot utilize the AI, the data. So this is, of course, extremely important. In Europe, we see actually that in cities you have a coverage of only 14% will not have broadbands across Europe, whereas if you have rural areas, you will have up until 40% of the population not able to connect to, for example, schools and other things. I was in Germany, so it's not only Greece. I was in Germany where we really saw that many of the rural areas could simply not connect. So there is a kind of there's been a lack of digital investment, resilience, building of European competence in digital, and hopefully by now, with also the help of the European Commission's funding, we will see a huge step forward. And thank you also to Yanis for his great contribution to exactly this plan. So let's look a little bit at what we did in Digital Europe. This is the result, 750 billion, 20% towards digital. And also we have what is called the Horizon 20 funding, which is, more the both on the excellence side, but also on building capabilities within what is called Digital Europe program. I always say when people steal your name, then it's when you have done a good job. So there you basically see investment also in AI capability, high performance computing, and many of the skills, cybersecurity capabilities and skills. And on top of course, the 20% that we will be investing. So what we do see now is that all governments need to deliver their digital investment plan to the Commission. So at the moment, I think Spain has delivered their plan with a 38% on digital, and really a big knowledge on how to invest. France came in with their plans, but most countries are still working on this plan. And I am sure that SEPA is really trying to share their knowledge also with the government on how to go about this. It will be crucial that the plan that is handed in now really focus at the right drivers. And in that spirit, maybe turning to next slide, in that spirit, we published around a month ago a investment guide, you can say. We call it How to Spend It. So what we also saw that many governments, but also the EU, is that they said to us, you are digital savvy, you know exactly how to spend these funds, but we actually have very little experience. So if you can help us to understand what are the major drivers of the economy that we need to restore. So these are the 5 areas that we actually picked out. So it's the digital education and skills. Here we mentioned 3 specific areas. We look at digital upskilling and reskilling. We know that before the crisis, actually 52% needed to be reskilled within the next 5 years. We also know that 13 million people are losing their job in, for example, tourism, which will have a high effect on Greece, Spain, and other countries. So how do we make sure that we reskill people from, for example, suffering sectors to jobs where they can have a higher value add? In fact, service jobs in the digital sectors has around 40% more value add to the society than other service jobs, meaning that, of course, this will also bring growth to the country. Then, of course, bringing schools into the digital age and using artificial intelligence to predict jobs of the future. Actually, Agoria, the Belgium association, has developed an algorithm across different sectors, so from manufacturing to transportation, where they can predict what are the jobs that will be disrupted and what are the most likely job for people to actually be reskilled into, what are the skills that they need that is closest to the skills that they have today. These type of tools, it's not science fiction. It's actually something that we can do, and we would like to offer that to all governments, that they can basically plan their reskilling efforts and make sure that all the citizens become a part of the digital decade. Digital healthcare.